So what do you think that means for guys like Kerfoot or somebody? Like, do you think that there's something else coming here? Or do you think that
I think a domino has to fall.
you think? I don't know though, man. Like,
well, they have to get it. One, they have to get under the cap. Two, it'd be really nice to have a little bit of breathing space throughout the season.
but they could bury somebody if they wanted to, right? Like coming out of camp, if they wanted to bury Engvall, they could there's $1.25 million right there. If they wanted to, they could do that, right?
Yeah, they could for sure. They could bury Engvall, but I'm pretty sure they've already buried him.
Okay. And they're still over, or they're right
yeah,
at it?
I'm pretty sure if you look at their cap friendly, they've buried Pierre Engvall. And the way it works is a portion of the salary. So I think like 175,000, 200,000 goes against your cap. The rest is buried.
Mm-hmm.
So they've buried Engvall already. He's already off the team.
Okay. So, and they still haven't signed Dermott yet either. So
No.
So what do you
they have zero room to play around with.
like? It makes sense for me to trade Kerfoot. Like I would trade Kerfoot. I don't care what you get back for him. I don't care what you get back for him.
No, it just frees up $3.5 million. You could sign Dermott and still have a little money throughout the season if you wanted to make a trade or if you wanted to do something. Like say you're just having an incredible season. You're right on the cusp. You know, you're close to first place in the NHL.
They're going to want to do something at the deadline.
Exactly. But if you are right up against the cap and you don't want to take anything off your roster,
yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked. You can't do anything. But if you have a couple million to play with, because remember, you're taking on the salary. Isn't it the cap hit goes from the trade deadline to the end of the season? Like, I don't think the cap hit is a full season. So you could get a guy who's making $5 million, but by the time you get him at the trade deadline, you only have a $2 million cap hit.
That's right. Yeah.
But you can't do that if you're that close to the cap. But anyway, let's get into it.
Well, hang on. So what do you think happens then? Like, because there hasn't been a lot, like I haven't heard a lot of speculation about Kerfoot. To be fair, I didn't hear like a lot of speculation about Kapanen or Johnson before they got traded either. But like, do you think that's the piece, or do you think it's somebody from the back end? Like, you can say, okay, trade Dermott, but he doesn't even have a fucking contract.
Yeah, it would do nothing for your cap to trade Dermott.
That's just it, right? So
you would be getting something back that you'd have to pay for anyway.
So where do you there's not a big move coming. Nylander's not getting traded. Hyman's not getting traded. They just re-signed Mikheyev. Who is it? It's Hall or it's Kerfoot? Is there anybody else that's even an option?
It's the one thing about this this roster is there's just not a lot of fat. Like Kerfoot is the one piece that you can cut that, that's making too much money for what he is.
Making too much money.
$3.5 million for a guy who was supposed to be your third line center, but really might be your third line winger.
Yep.
He's pretty replaceable. Like you can find guys like Kerfoot for cheaper than $3.5 million. But other than that, when you look at their roster, you're not touching the big four.
No.
You're not going to trade a Zach Hyman.
No, not a chance.
And the rest of them are all making like league minimum.
And you could see Hall be moved, but I don't think that would be
planned. Hall only makes $2 million.
No, I know, and he's a right shot D. They don't have. I know Brody's going to be playing the right side, but they really only have Liljegren. He's probably not in the mix to be a top 6 guy, and he shoots right, I believe. And Bogosian and Hall are the only legitimate guys that might be in the top 6 that actually shoot right-handed.
Every one of their defensemen that are in the lineup, Muzzin, Riley, Brody, Hall, Bogosian,
mm-hmm.
They all have no trade clauses, no movement clauses, or modified no trade clauses.
Right.
So with Justin Hall, he submits a 10-team list that he's willing to be traded to. Well, that limits you have 10 teams to work with. Kerfoot's one guy on the team with nothing in his contract, can be traded anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
He's just like the perfect person to get rid of.
It makes more sense. And you're going to need defensive depth too. So I know Hall $2 million, but like that's not that crazy of a price tag for a large right-handed D. Like I'd keep Hall in the mix personally, but you got to find some money from somewhere. Kerfoot, it's like, what else are you going to do? Like trade Kerfoot, keep Engvall around, try to bury him if possible, and then hopefully Seattle takes Engvall, or maybe they take Dermott. Who knows? But going into next year, like it's got to be Kerfoot. Like they have to trade Kerfoot now, do they not? Like they kind of have to trade Kerfoot.
Yeah, I mean, if I would, or Freddie Anderson, but he also has a modified no trade list, right? So these have all kicked in. They can't.
I would
just trade them.
I think if the Freddie thing was happening, it would have happened. It's not going.
Oh,
down.
I do too. But I'm just saying he's one other piece that he makes $5 million. If you could get a really good goalie for less, it'd free up some money. But again, goaltending and defense, you don't want to fuck with unless you have something in place. Like you say, defensive depth, you need it. You need it to go far. Yeah. And you need goaltending. And right now, all you have is Freddie Anderson. Kerfoot's expendable. He is totally expendable. There are guys making way less than him already on the team that I think could take his spot. Like Jimmy Vesey could maybe play the wing with Joe Thornton instead of Kerfoot. Nick Robertson could play the wing instead of Kerfoot.
They've got guys. They've got guys that making way less that can be that can be like similar player, maybe a better player.
And he's got 3 years left, Kerfoot. So if you can trade it now, you can free up $3.5 million for the next 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's crazy. So anyway,
it was just a bad signing.
Yeah, it was.
He jumped the gun on that one.
I hope he can get out from it, because if not, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Oh, he'll be able to get out from it. He just might not get anything back in return.
Or maybe Kerfoot fucking accidentally blows his knee out in training camp.
No, there's always teams trying to get to the cap floor and things like that.
Okay,
you can always find a dance partner, but you might be getting back nothing. And you know how people are. They'll trade Kerfoot and they'll get like a 6th round pick, and people are like, "Oh, Dubas is an idiot.
Yeah.
Why didn't he get back like a superstar or something?" But it would be a cap dump.
Yeah.
Just like Janssen.
Yeah, like Janssen. You might be able to get a prospect that isn't working out somewhere else for Kerfoot. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Kerfoot's older than Janssen, I think, but I don't know by how much. Anyway, whatever. I think that's got to be the guy. It just makes the most amount of sense, like, because of the money involved. It makes the most amount of sense. And like you just said, they have guys like Robertson or Vesey or Korshkov. Like, there's other guys in the mix that could come in, play the wing with Joe, and it not be an issue. But anyway, hey guys, Dale here from the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the video. You can also give us an idea for what you might like to see in a future video. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can like us on Facebook to stay up to date with everything we have coming in regards to the new season and the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have a lot of things in the works for the new season whenever that starts. Hopefully sometime in January, we'll see. You can also listen to our podcast, the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, we're there. The Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. We really would appreciate your support. And we'll talk to you later, guys. Catch you later.